Hello, everybody. Welcome to U.S. History Summer Edition. I hope that you guys have had a bit of a break and had some time to relax, and that you are now prepared to dive right in. I would like to introduce myself. My name is Scott Keys. I will be the instructor for this course. I wanted to start this class off with a quick video overview of some of the expectations, some of what's in the syllabus, because for one, I think it's important that you are aware of the policies and aware of the procedures and have an idea of how this class is going to progress. And I think it's nice to have a face to a name, so I create some of these videos. So the very first thing I want to start off by saying is that you have decided to take a summer course. That obviously is not going to come as a surprise to any of you. But what that means is that we're going to be taking a lot of information and cramming it into just over 4.5 or so weeks, give or take a little less than 5 weeks. Now, normally these classes run about 18 weeks. So we're taking about 18 weeks of content and cramming it down into a very short amount of time. Now, the reason I say that is just so that you are aware that you're going to have information come at you somewhat quickly, a bit more rapidly than, of course, you would have if you had 18 weeks to complete the content. So just be aware that that's going to happen. You're going to have to work at a faster pace than you normally would, but I'm supposing at this point you are probably aware of that fact. So with that said, let me start off by simply saying welcome, and I hope that you will enjoy this class. I love U.S. history, and I love students. I enjoy teaching and participating in conversations and dialogues about important topics in U.S. history and in world history, but predominantly U.S. history. And so I hope that by the end of this course, you will come to enjoy the content, but perhaps more importantly than that, I hope that you come to understand how you can use history to better understand your contemporary world. One of the things I have students say a lot to me is, I can see continuity into the current time. That is, they can see trends that were taking place, 100, 200 years ago that they still see happening today. And they basically conclude that, hey, this history is helpful in understanding the way things are today and to making sense of it. In many ways, history is a conduit through which we can understand ourselves. It is a roadmap for us to understand who we are and where we're going and where we've been, and hopefully learn from not just the mistakes, but learn from the challenges and victories that we have had. Now, with that said, let's get down to some of the nuts and bolts. First and foremost, I hope you have had an opportunity to take a look at the syllabus. In that syllabus, there are a number of important policies and procedural expectations listed in there. And so you definitely want to go through the syllabus. You can locate that on the home page in Canvas. And it's right there as a link. It's called Syllabus. You can open that up. And that will remain there throughout the entire course. But in there is your reading schedule. Your assignments are listed in there. The due dates are listed in there. And my policies are also listed in there. Among other policies listed in there are DSPS policies, my plagiarism policy, which roughly stated is if I catch you plagiarizing on any form, on any level, at any point, then your assignment will receive a 0. There's more delineation of that policy in the syllabus. There's also my late work policy, which generally speaking, I don't take late work unless there is an unforeseen emergency situation. And I explain what an emergency situation is not. I do not constitute busy family schedules, work schedules, even technological malfunctions as being an emergency situation. The only time I would consider a technological situation to be an emergency is if Canvas goes down and you're not able to access any of this content. But again, in the syllabus is a further delineated late work policy. One thing I would like to stress is that when it comes to late work, I will accept it if you provide me a valid reason. So say you have a medical reason. And so you provide for me some form of official documentation to evidence the situation. That could be a doctor's note. And then I will allow for you to turn in late work. The other thing I will say about late work is that I generally do not allow students to make work up unless they've already submitted something. It's difficult to make up an assignment that was never done to begin with. Now, that could change depending upon the reason for you not getting the assignment turned in. But more often than not, I allow make-up assignments only for students who submit the assignments initially. If you just simply failed to submit something and you say, well, I want to use my one make-up opportunity to do this assignment, that's not going to cut it. So just make sure that you submit all your assignments. But all of those policies are stated in the syllabus. So please make sure that you read through that. And in fact, one of the things I'm going to offer right off the bat to you is some extra credit. You'll obviously want to watch to the end of this video, but the extra credit will basically be within the first 4 days of this class. If you email me a summation of my syllabus, of this video, and you provide a detailed summation of those two things, then I will provide for you some extra credit right off the bat, because I just want to make sure that you are all aware of what is expected here, okay? Generally speaking, every assignment will be due by Sunday at 11:59 p.m. That will be slightly different for your final exam, which will occur at the very last week of this course. You can look at the syllabus again to find out when exactly the final exam is due, the specific due date. But generally, most assignments will be due by Sunday at 11:59 p.m. I will do my utmost to get the content made available to you by Monday by 7 or 7:30 a.m. We've got a lot of people in this home, and sometimes Monday mornings can get a little hectic. So I will try and get that content made available to you by Monday at 7 in the morning. Sometimes, if I can, I'll make it available on Sunday before the night is up. But nonetheless, by Monday at 7:30, you should always have access to the materials that you need. Most of your materials will be located in Canvas. Under the Modules tab, you'll see there's always going to be some kind of mini lecture from me. It will look a lot like this video. None of them are incredibly long. We're talking 15, 20 minutes. And then there'll be some films that you'll watch, some readings that you'll do. And by the way, no need to buy a textbook for this class. Your textbook is an OER. It's what we call an online educational resource, and you will be able to access that textbook online for free. If you're so inclined, you can buy it, but you don't have to. You can use it for free. Let's see. Most classes throughout the week will start Monday and go to Sunday, as already mentioned, and you will submit all of your work through Canvas. This includes your quizzes or your final exam. There's only one test in this class. It comes at the end, and it is a final exam, but I break your final exam into chunks. So it's not as though you're going to open up one test and have 100 or so questions. Instead, I've broken it up into their component parts, and I've labeled the sections based upon the content that it will cover. I do this so that you can focus your attention on one particular area of study instead of trying to cram it all in and then take the test all at once. Now what you can do is, if you realize that you're stronger in one area as opposed to another, take that one area that you feel stronger in and get it off your mind, and then spend your time studying for the next that you feel less prepared for. Okay, so those are your assignments. There's also going to be some weekly questions that you will have to answer. I think each week I have you answering 3 questions based upon the weekly material. One thing I would ask that you do is submit all 3 questions as one document. In other words, don't answer one question, submit it, then the next question and submit it. It doesn't seem like that would be a big problem, but if every student does that, then it takes me a lot of time to have to keep opening documents and then providing comments and submitting them back to you. So if you can just answer all 3 of your questions on one single document and submit it through Canvas, that would be great. Also note, if you're working on an Apple product, I can't open documents that are sent to me in Pages. Sometimes I'm not able to open up Google documents either. I've had some issues of not having permission to open up those documents. So the best thing to do is just to make any document you submit Microsoft Word friendly. And I know that there's a way to do that for you Apple people. I've never worked on an Apple other than an iPod, so I'm not sure how that works. You guys are smarter than I am on that, I think, but I know it can be done. So when you submit your assignments, just make sure that it is Microsoft Word applicable so that I can open it and grade it. If you do send me a version of an assignment that I cannot open, what I will do is I will respond to you in a comment, and I will tell you, I can't open this. Please resubmit your assignment. For now, you will see a 0 in the grade book, but that grade will change once you resubmit, okay? Other things, important things, communication. There's 3 ways that you can communicate to me through Canvas. Well, actually, there's 2 ways through Canvas. One is email. So there's 3 ways total. One is through your school email. And that's the best way to get a hold of me, is just to shoot me an email. I always have my email open, and normally I respond within a few minutes. That stated, my promise is that I will respond to you Monday through Thursday within 24 hours. Friday through Sunday, I will respond to you within 48 hours. But because I work from home a lot and I have my email open, once it blings at me, I tend to go look at it and I will respond to you. So email and school email is the only way I will respond to you. In other words, don't send me anything from your Gmail account or a Hotmail account, or if you still have one, an AOL account, whatever it is, don't send me from those, only from the school. The other way you can contact me is through the inbox system in Canvas. I also get emails through there. But another way I have found where students try to communicate with me is by leaving me comments on their assignments. So oftentimes, almost every time, I will leave you comments on your assignments. And sometimes students will try and have a communication with me through leaving me a comment on the comment that I left them. Please know that I very rarely ever go back and re-look at comments that I leave to students. So if you send me a message as a comment on one of your assignments, it's likely I'm not going to get it. So please do not do that, because if you do, you may feel like I'm not responding to you, but the reality is that I just generally don't go back and re-look at assignments that I've already graded unless there's some particular reason for me to do so. So email is the best way to get a hold of me. The other thing that we can do, and I will be having office hours from time to time, and I'll let you know what those are going to be, but we can have meetings through Zoom. So if you would like to have more of a one-on-one meeting where we can discuss things, or you have questions, or you'd like me to elaborate on content, then we can have a Zoom meeting. Just email me and we'll set one up. Otherwise, you can join the office hours when those arrive, okay? I think that's pretty much all I have for you at this point. So if you have questions, let me know. Check out the syllabus. Check out this video. Obviously, if you've heard me say that, you've already done that. And like I said, if within the first 4 days of class you provide for me a summation of all this and a lot of detail, give you some extra credit. So with that, I will leave you, as I always will, with go in peace, be warm and filled, may the force be with you, live long and prosper, and may the odds forever be in your favor. Have a blessed week, guys, and I hope you enjoy the class.